Okay, welcome. As Katie mentioned, it is Halloween. I don't know if that's a big exciting thing in your household or not. In the neighborhood I live in, it's going to be a bit of a madhouse, which is fun. Fairfax madhouse. Um, and sorry about yesterday. I was planning on doing a session and was then just in clinic working with patients, and it just yeah, I just couldn't extricate myself in a way that felt good for me. So apologies for that. And then yesterday I had an interesting experience as I was walking home. A car pulled up next to me, and a woman got out, and she said, "Ollie," and I didn't recognize her. And it took a while, and it turns out she was or is the mother of someone that I worked with in the clinics a couple of years ago, and that was her son, and he just committed suicide a few days ago. So, uh, yeah, very obviously very sad. And at the same time, I also noticed just this overwhelming sense of gratitude that I was experiencing for a whole host of different reasons. And I thought maybe today's session, we've done this before, but focus on this idea of finding gratitude through so-called bad experiences. And I think what I was really feeling acutely in that moment was a connection to, and first and foremost, just thanking her for actually putting the effort in and recognizing me, and then making the effort to stop and get out of her car and approach me. And she expressed gratitude for the work that I had done with him, and how much that meant to her and how much it meant to him. And um, anyway, so it was just filled with this really profound sense of connection with her. I hadn't spoken with her in a long time, and yeah, just a good reminder that when so-called bad things happen, of course, I didn't wish any of this on him, and wish he was finding the help and support either through me or someone else. That's life. It sort of takes twists and turns in directions that can sometimes feel quote unquote bad, but it's always an opportunity, I think, to find the good in the situation. And so I thought maybe today we would focus on that. So I think this is a Mark Twain quote: "Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from poor judgments." So this also applies, having gratitude for when we make so-called mistakes, or we do something that we feel foolish about. Just a reminder that, well, look, that's how you learn. That's how that's how little kids learn how to not touch the hot stove, or do things like that. It's like you have poor judgment, and then hopefully you learn from it. And without that, we wouldn't be who we are now. So let's try that. Let's close our eyes. And just start by bringing attention inward. And let's do a quick body scan. Start with our feet. You wiggle your toes, put your feet flat on the ground. Just notice, what's it like to have feet right now? And we're not looking for anything in particular. We're just trying to stimulate the part of our brain that's responsible for what's called interoception. So the noticing or the experiencing of inside states. And so right now, just a very matter-of-fact exploration of, how do your feet feel? And moving upwards on your shin to your knees, up the thighs to the pelvis. Let's pause there. How did the legs and hips feel today? Moving further up to the belly, the lower back, noticing the spine, and imagine your attention going upwards, one vertebra at a time. Getting to the rib cage and noticing the chest, shoulders, all the way down your arms, past the elbows, and into your hands and fingertips. What does the torso feel like in this moment? Arms and hands feel and sense. And going to the neck and the throat, to your jaw, to your cheekbones, eyes and forehead, to the very top of your skull. What's it like to have a head? And then activating our capacity for diffuse attention. Notice the overall state of the body, everything from your toes to the fingertips to the top of the head. Noticing breath coming and going. And then bring to mind a so-called bad experience, a negative experience. Could be illness, could be a situation that along the lines of what I just described earlier, could be a breakup, divorce, broken relationships, something that feels a little bit heavy and sad. Just feel into that for a moment. Notice where it lives in the body. And ask yourself, why does it feel bad, or why do I label it as bad or negative? What is it that didn't happen that I tell myself should have happened? What is it that I wish were different? And then feel into that. I suspect you'll uncover some needs that are really important to you, or values that are at the center of it. And then shifting your attention away from the wishful statements, so that shouldn't have happened or it should have been different. See if you can focus on the values the needs that weren't being met, how precious and important those are to you, and how this bad experience is putting you in direct contact with how important those needs are, and how it hurts when they're not met. And transmuting this bad experience into asking yourself, what's it like when those needs are met? Or situations when it feels good and I notice that those needs are being met. Focus your attention on that. And see if you can find some examples in your memory when those needs were met and those values were being honored. And notice where in your body that experience lives. One way to think of what we're doing here is just a cognitive reframe, right? It's taking a narrative or an experience and really getting to the heart of why is it painful, and then focusing your attention and energy on the needs or the values that weren't being met and imagining them what it's like when they are met. So they're shifting the energy towards the positive. How sweet it is to come into contact with those values and those needs. Maybe that's the doorway into gratitude right there. Appreciating the many times when those very needs are in fact met by others, by yourself, by life. It's a way of holding bad experiences as ways to remind us of what we hold dear and what's valuable to us. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow exhale. Really slowing it down, pushing all the air out. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a slow inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more through the nose. And out. Relaxing the shoulder and the belly and the hands. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes, come on back to the session. Yeah, hope that wasn't too out there or too much of a like mental gymnastics exercise, but yeah, I'll leave it there. Hope that was helpful. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.